Arthritis. I haven't even been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping on the couch because it's the only way for me to get any comfort. Excuse me. So I've been dealing with that. Another thing I was dealing with was I had a lot of worry. My son's birthday was on the 19th of November. We got him a couple presents. We had a small party for him. And I thought, okay, well, I'd really like to make Yule a little more. I'd like to get him a little more for Yule. And being on the small budget that we are, I figured it probably wasn't going to happen. So I went on this big long search. Merlin, what are you doing? Sorry guys, my cat sounds like he's tearing apart my son's room. Where was I? So I went on this big long search for programs that would help us out with Christmas. And being in a small paper mill town, apparently there's not that much around here. I asked our son's home visitor from the Head Start, I said, what is there? Because I want him to have a good Yule. I want him to have a nice Christmas, Yule, whatever you want to call it. And so she also did some digging, and she couldn't find anything either. She said, the only thing I know about, they haven't even told us anything. And I'm like, oh, great. So I was worrying about this. This was a thing, and I kept saying, I really want him to have a nice Yule. I want this to be a little more memorable than, a couple gifts and whatever. His first birthday, he didn't really care. I cared, and I care about Yule. So that's just my thing. I know it's not about the material things, but it would be nice to be able to give him stuff and for him to have a little more fun than what I had. So we went earlier this month to a local food pantry at a church, and I decided, I'm gonna ask. So I asked them if they had a gift giving program of some sort, and they said yes, but we're not sure what the cutoff is. The person that I spoke to, that wasn't her thing, so she took my name, she took my number, and while we were there, we got our food, we listened to the little sermon, because you have to sit and listen to them do their little talk about whatever the theme they're doing that week happens to be, or that month happens to be. So we did that, and the person I talked to previously started talking to the other person about us looking for gifts for our son. Hi, Merlin. And, oh, jeez. Sorry about the shaking. I'll explain that later. Come here, you. Come on, come out. Come on, come out. Stop. Stop it. Stop. So, ow. So anyway, they called the person in charge of that while I was there, and they said, well, we left her a message, so she'll get back to you. A couple days after that, I got the call. She said, okay, what do you need? Told her what we needed. She said, okay, I'm going to send you a letter for our Christmas thing, which is actually this Sunday, and that's when you can get your gifts for your son. So we got that. She said, I don't know how much we're going to be able to give you, but we'll find something. So we're going to be getting that. Additionally, on the way back from the food pantry, we ran into the manager of the shelter that we were at before we got our apartment, and we told her, we just in passing, we're like, oh yeah, well, we just got back from the food pantry, and they're gonna help us with a couple Christmas gifts. And she was like, oh, I can add him to our thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, this certain company asked us to get the kids' Christmas lists together, and they figure out how much it's going to be, so they give us the money to go and get the gifts for the kids. She said, I'll put him on our list. You guys were not here that long ago, so I can put him on the list for you, and I'll give you the gifts when we get them. I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, what size is he in? What kind of stuff does he like? And so she got that. So we're also apparently going to be getting gifts from the shelter, which is awesome. On top of that, we had a couple more things happen. One of our neighbors in our building was evicted, unfortunately. That's not so good for them. But they're doing okay. They're fine. So they had a lot of stuff. We did not have a lot of furniture. We had basically just what we needed, and that was it. We even went as far as to go to Rent-A-Center to get ourselves a bed, because we were in desperate need of one, especially with my back. And now I'm not sleeping on the bed. Go figure. But anyway, so they had a ton of stuff. I think one of them was a hoarder. Not sure. I can't say for sure, but they had a lot of stuff. Like, they're still, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're still the landlord is still throwing things off the balcony in the back from their apartment. So they gave us a lot of furniture. They gave us a coffee table. They gave us a couple end tables. They gave us these cool little I don't want to call them dressers, or they're kind of like cabinets, I guess. They have little wheels, and we have one on each side of the bed. I actually have my laptop on mine right now. I moved it so there wasn't a lot of glare. So we have that. We got a bookshelf. We got, trying to think of what all we got from over there. Because we got quite a bit. But anyway, we got quite a bit of furniture stuff. Oh, a rocking chair. That was the other thing that I really liked was we got a rocking chair. It's awesome because it helps me help the little dude relax. And I've just always liked rocking chairs, but I digress. And then, besides that, my cat is going crazy for no apparent reason. Besides that, our landlord, while cleaning out this apartment, decided that he needed to go down into the basement of the building and have a look around there. Well, apparently the people before us who lived in this apartment had left a lot of stuff behind. So he knocked on our door and he said, "Hey, so there's all this stuff down in the basement. I don't know what's what, you know. I know what's there, it's all theirs. And they haven't been here in a year, so if you want to go through it and see if there's anything you guys could use, go ahead. I will leave it unlocked for you." So my husband went down there and he came back up with a bunch more stuff. He came back up with a bunch of VHS Disney movies, old Disney movies. He got Peter Pan. He got all kinds of stuff. VHS, and we have a VHS DVD combo player, so that was cool. On top of that, we ended up with more toys for my son. So what we did with the toys is I washed them really, really good because they've been down in the basement for a year. So what I did is I washed them really good. We decided, okay, here's what we're going to give him now, and here's what we'll give him for Christmas. So he has a few toys for Christmas again. So he's got a few more toys for Christmas, which is awesome. But yeah, I was all worried that we weren't going to have much. And I really wanted a tree this year. We have a tree. It's not the type of tree that I was hoping for. That I was kind of like, okay, well. We didn't have the money for even a small 4-foot Christmas tree this year. So we had asked our home visitor from Head Start, "Hey, so we are not going to have a tree this year. What can we do? Is there anything you can help us with?" And then she said, "Well, we can make one." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." So she said, "Just let me know what I need to get for you guys." And I found a thing on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, a felt tree to stick on the wall. That would be cool." So, well, that didn't work out because the day she was supposed to bring the stuff, they were going to go to Walmart, and she was like, "Oh, I need felt for a tree." And they told her it was too expensive. Yeah, felt is expensive. You can get a yard of it for like $1. I don't see how you don't need that much. So anyway, Apparently, they had told another family they couldn't do it because it was too expensive, so they told her the same thing. So I'm like, okay, so now what? Well, she brought us this big roll of paper. Big roll. It takes up almost the entire wall that we put it on. And then she brought some stuff to decorate it, to glue on, little pom-pom balls and other little shapes to put on it. I colored it, I made it pretty. So yeah, our Yule is going to be, it's actually going to be decent this year. Yay! We actually get to have a Yule this year. And that makes me really happy because dealing with homelessness and not dealing with everything else, trying to keep together because I'm starting to feel a little emotional. Dealing with the homelessness and dealing with the pain I've been going through with my physical pain with my back and other pain that I've been going through and some of the things that my husband has been going through, we needed something good to happen. Things started looking up with, getting the apartment, me going to school, and I was happy for that. But I felt like, okay, things are looking up. And it's the new, we had Samhain, the new year, and I'm like, new year, more good things should be happening now. It would be really great because I've been working my butt off the best I can to try and make things work. And I've been putting it out into the universe, and things are better. Yeah, I didn't get the little 4-foot tree that I really wanted. We didn't get to get my son a lot, but things are being gifted to us to give to him. Things have been gifted to give to him. So I'm really thankful for that. Sorry again. Like I said, I'm trying to kind of cool my emotions. It is an emotional thing for me because, like I said, we've been through a lot, and it's just good to have the positivity. I know this is a really long video, one of probably my longest, but there's a point to be made here. With all the crap going on concerning the election of Trump as president and Standing Rock, there are good things happening. They might be on a smaller scale, but they're happening. And I've heard I've heard a few people, just when I'm out and about, talking about how we're all doomed. We're all doomed. Now that he's president, we're doomed. Blah blah. Just so much negative crap to say and to dwell on. And I'm choosing not to do that. Because what's the point? There's no point in being all negative about it. Good things are happening. Like I said, they're on a smaller scale. Like for me personally, I didn't even think we were going to have a Christmas this year. We're actually going to have a Christmas. There are people out there who still care about other people that care about the rest of the human race and who care about the earth and all the other creatures on it. And these people are working their asses off trying to do what they know needs to be done. And that's why I'm not chalking it up to we're doomed. The earth is doomed. No, there are people still working their asses off to make things right. And as long as there is at least one person, just a single person, still trying to do that right thing, to do those things that they know need to be done. We're going to feed the homeless. We're going to house the homeless. We're going to help low-income families with Christmas presents. We're going to, we're going to work on saving, well, for example, the giraffe is on the extinction watch list now. So there are people who are watching and making sure that we don't lose any more giraffes and other animals to extinction. There are people working their asses off so that we're not doomed. And that's what I choose to focus on. Yes, the negativity is here. All this bad stuff is over here. It's not going to go away because I'm thinking all the positive things that I can. Obviously, it's not going to go away. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing good happening. Everyone wants to focus on the negative over here, and they forget about all the good things over here. They forget about all the people over here trying to do what they need to do, what needs to be done. And they just chalk it up to, well, that's it. No point anymore. There is a point. There is a point. And the people on this side of the spectrum over here are saying, no, we're not done yet. We're still going to fight. We're still going to do this. And I'm one of these people. There's not much I can do, but there is a few things that I can do. I can choose to think more positively. I can choose to send out good thoughts and prayers. I can choose to work magic and send out those intentions to help those people who are also over here doing those things that I myself can't do. That's my choice. And I hope a lot more people realize that it is a choice and that they choose to do what they know needs to be done, or if they cannot, for whatever reason, do what needs to be done, that they do their best to stay positive and to send out prayers and good thoughts and other vibrations to those who can do, who are doing. So, on another note, besides, as I mentioned in the beginning, and as you saw in the beginning, I'm doing, or I'm at least working on, trying to create an intro, pardon me, I can't speak this morning for some reason, an intro for my videos. Whether I do an outro remains to be seen. Probably not. But I'd really like some feedback on my intro. Basically what I did was find some royalty-free music and some royalty-free pictures put them together to make a nice little short intro. I don't want to make some big long intro of doom. Uh, but I'd really like some feedback, and if you have any suggestions on maybe some free video editing apps or tools or whatever, that would be great, because what I'm using right now is Windows Movie Maker, and quite frankly, I think it stinks. It sucks. All right, I think it sucks, but it's what I got, so I'm gonna use it for now. So any kind of feedback, good, bad, I'd really appreciate that, because yeah, I really want my videos to look decent. So yeah, on that happy note, I hope everyone has a great day and bright blessings.